Good Friday morning.
No,
And welcome to ICH TV.
I was just saying I'm happy you're not doing
Oh my gosh, what a disappointment for the poor child. It looks just nice in her dress. Where's my coffee?
I didn't make it.
What? No coffee, man. It's brutal. Hey, good Friday morning here at ICH TV. Wow. What a Friday, right? What a Friday here. And thanks for all those that tune in my channel on the Ice Age. It stands for the Internal Combustion Engine Age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and SUVs and motorcycles and what's going on here. Here's my dad crawling out of the car for his daily routine in the morning to go get his coffee, get breakfast for the wife. And there he is on a Friday morning. Friday morning.
How did it get to be Friday so quick?
I don't know. What's the word of the day today?
There's no tomorrow.
Wow, that's powerful. What do you know? What do you know that I don't know?
So get it all done today.
Oh my gosh, wow.
The world is shrinking.
Yikes. Okay, well, there's the positive, uplifting, thank God it's Friday message. There is no tomorrow. Wow. Man almighty, this is scary. Yeah, no coffee or nothing.
Right.
I mean, the kid didn't get me nothing. I can't believe it. Jeez. I guess my thought I was so special. Just not so much. So, wow, what are we doing now, right? What the heck are we doing now? Well, I'll tell you right now, what I'm thinking is, where's the connections with my kid of getting my morning coffee? So I got to go in the house now, get a coffee. Oh, the demands. What's going on now, Dad? What do you got going on? Keep calm, I'm watching you.
Did you put that on there?
Nope. Well, because artificial intelligence is taking over, Dad. The computer is starting to talk to you.
I'm going to wake up some night and find that thing in bed next to me.
Yeah, it's your wife. All right, let's get back out to the garage here in the popcorn house and get the morning conversations going because it's just, wow, out of control, right? Out of control this morning. It's the popcorn and the kid. And, wow, what a great day yesterday. If you're watching my channel, well, you saw us go to the gun range and had some good a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun going to shooting the guns. You know, I'm not the biggest gun guy. Gun stuff just isn't my blood. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like guns, but I'm just not into guns. I mean, some people are just into guns. I'm into cars. That's what I am. And so, anyways, but the kid loves the guns. The kid loves shooting guns. And I think the daughter would be a better gun person than me in all reality. I already know the wife is. We took gun class. Wife and I took gun class back like in 2000. I've told the story before, but I'll never forget. After we got done with the handgun class, the instructor and all the participants said that I get the bat and the wife gets the gun. And I was like, yeah, wife can shoot a gun. My kid has that as well. So, and even though my brother went over there and had fun too. So, you know, you see we had the gun day adventure, and here we are. It's a Friday. Hard to believe that 3 weeks ago, I was packing up in Virginia and driving down the F-150 Power Boost with a trailer with 4 motorcycles in it and brought that down here only to X amount of days later have a borderline brand new F-450 dually. I mean, I never had that in my mind. Never had that, you know, thought going to Florida, that's how it would play out. So just crazy in how 3 weeks later, what has played out in Florida. And I would have to guess to say that it's the truck. And only the truck. So I didn't buy anything else down here. Wow. Is it a long streak? I've gone, well, it's not 3 weeks yet, because it'd be next week for it to be 3 weeks. So let me get my coffee here. And it's all about the morning conversations. What's this past week even been? I can't even keep track in all sincereness. We've been talking a lot about computers. Really for the last 2 weeks. Since I've been down here, it's been a lot about the computers, the spies, the video, the computer, the artificial intelligence, programming, software, hardware. So spies, program, I think it was software, hardware. And I thought today we would finish it up with the theme of the week with connections. And even for me, I thought, haven't I had a connections video? And if you're part of my channel, we've connected. It's obvious that those that watch my channel and subscribe to my channel, they feel a connection. And that's what's so cool about life, and us as friends and family, is we have these connections that kind of bring us to each other, which is the computer world, which it totally relates to the whole infrastructure. It's the whole infrastructure of all the things I've talked about this past week, of how the computer had to have connections, how the internet needed to have the same highway, however you want to phrase the technology, of being able to communicate with one another. So more than ever, here we have these cars that we have connections where I can look at my phone remotely and I can see my vehicle's connected to the cloud or whatever it is, and I can see how many miles on the truck, if the truck has any recalls, and where the truck is. And that's a big thing today with all our technology with these cars. More than ever, you know where your car is, you know if it may have a problem, and you don't have to be sitting in the car. You can be connected to it remotely. And that's a huge growing trend of all these cars and trucks and SUVs. Your home, your video, or your house. I mean, I don't think there's anything here on my channel I'm saying to anybody here that's like, yeah, wow, that's really informative there, Mr. Iceman. Well, the whole point is it's the conversations that keep on going. As I haul my dad's garbage can back up. Does it go through the two cars? I don't know. I think I'll bring it over here to the other side of the car. So the connections, but you know, it's just really incredible that we have the most connections ever of all the information age, and yet we're not. I mean, does it just seem like you as an individual just don't agree with all these things that are going on around us? I mean, are you truly connected? And that's where the separation comes. That's where the disconnect comes. I mean, more than ever in today's society, are people disconnecting. Not only people just unplugging their technology and just getting off like the grid. A lot of people want solar panels, wind power for their to get off the grid of the more expensive electric. I don't know if you heard that video yesterday with my brother or not, but he claims that his electric bill is usually about $120 or $130 a month. But here recently, it was like $430 a month if you watch my video. So apparently, the Tampa Electric, they basically are charging people more money. So he got charged like $430 for 3 months, like $300 more a month. But it's the fund to help build out the future of the electric connections. It's for the future of people being connected. And I've talked about this many times on my channel, that you're going to end up start paying a lot more money for that energy to be at your house. And once again, I don't think anybody on my channel is like, oh wow, didn't hear that either, Mr. Iceman. But it's just, once again, how many people are disconnect from the grid? My brother-in-law, who has the bus, he's disconnected from the grid in some ways, not totally. I've had many offers to put solar panels like on my barn or something, but I just think it's a little tacky. I'm just not there yet, even though when you get a $900 bill from your electric company, yeah. But at the same time, am I going to be there forever? So part of me is like, I don't know. You know, how many more years can I maintain that lifestyle, maintain that property? It's just at some point you have to start saying to yourself, okay, you know, what's the next adventure in my life? And that's one thing about my YouTube channel, maybe unbeknownst to a lot of you that watch it, is my goal has always been to be able to transition away from my industry that I'm in and the never-ending manual labor that I'm in, and transition into more of the talking, I guess. the social network. And that's always been a goal of mine. As I get older, I'd rather have the lifestyle more of being able to make videos, content, instead of me having to go out and do manual labor and live behind the wheel of a car, and just that whole DC. I mean, I've been doing it for 30 plus years. I mean, I've been driving behind the wheel of a car, I'm not lying to you, since 1985. So is that 40 years? I mean, I'm coming up close to 40 years of just living behind the wheel of vehicles my whole life. And eventually, just like, man, I just want to do this anymore. I'm not going to do something else. So the whole point of that is my connection of what I'm doing. At some point, I'm going to have to disconnect one day from what I'm doing. And hopefully this is a connection to the future of me having more of a lifestyle that doesn't require such a physical exertion and the same thing. But it's not easy. Creating a YouTube channel, anybody out there, I run into people and they'll start talking about it, and I say, that's fantastic. Start your YouTube channel. Go for it. And but I also think that, boy, I'm sure a lot of people would say it's like anything. How many football players actually make the big money and most never do? It's just life. How many people in business make the big money and most small business owners don't? Do they do okay? Yeah, but for the most part, it's a very select few. It's just the old 80-20 rule. Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't know that saying in life? If you've been in business, you understand that 80-20 rule. 80% of the work gets done by 20% of the people. That's kind of what that means for anybody else out there who hasn't really heard that. So the connections I always talk about on my channel is these things right here. This is my connection. I just have this incredible passion that I have to have more than one vehicle. And what is that all about? My connection has to be many vehicles. And some people, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm good. I've got my favorite car, favorite truck, and my favorite motorcycle, and my favorite girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or whatever it may be, and I'm good. Yeah, I get it. And I'm sure so many be like, how, why? It's just they can't connect. I'm certain there's people out there that just can't connect with my channel because they look at it like, wow, this guy, I just don't get it. I don't understand why this guy's have all these damn cars, trucks, motorcycles, blah, 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 blah. Right, yeah. I don't disagree. I would have to say too, yeah, right. Where's the connection? But for me, it is a true connection, and it's my happiness in my life. That's what I told you the other week, is bringing all my toys down is so cool because I still feel like I have this part of my life. It's just the cars and trucks, I don't know where it came from. Why would I be more into, wanting to buy guns all the time? Why would I be more into wanting to invest my monies in the stock markets and watch the markets? Or why would I be more the guy that wanted to buy houses and rent out houses or rebuild houses? Or, why wouldn't I be the guy that was more into like the boating? And I was like, I thought to myself the other day, it's interesting. We were out there on the water down there in the causeway, Campbell Courtney Causeway, just sitting there enjoying the scenery. And I thought to myself, it's pretty incredible. My family started moving down here in 1990. My first sister, oldest sister, Rachel, she got married, and they relocated down here to this Tampa area. And then my dad transitioned from being full-time employed to semi-retiring, and he moved down here like in 91 because he found a really good new job that he ran. And so then my mom moved down. At first my mom didn't come down. And then my sister came down. And then eventually my brother moved from Virginia. And he came down to Atlanta. He lives in Atlanta for many years. And he transitioned down here. And I had an opportunity truly back in like 92, 93. I was going through a separation, a divorce. I should say that was more like 95. But even at 92, 93, my first marriage was in a shambles because of me changing careers and going broke, basically. So the first wife kind of was like a mark that, you're not going to go anywhere. And, there was a lot more to that. But I had a time back in 92, 93 where I was really in a transition of not really having much of a job anymore and a failure in a network marketing company, selling car care products and other stuff. And so I could have moved down here. And I was thinking to myself, I was sitting on the Campbell Courtney Causeway with the breakout behind me and the Lowrider ST behind us, and just listening to the waves crash and the wind, and just a really beautiful day. And so I thought, wow, I'm amazed back then I didn't move down here and get into the boating side, getting the boating industry. The boating industry down here is massive. It's just huge. In fact, today and this weekend, they're having the big Tampa Bay boat show, which I don't need to go to that. You know how that all starts to play out. And I can't because I have to take care of my mother today. My mother has 2 back-to-back doctor's appointments, and it's just one of those days where it's going to be 12:45 at one doctor and then 5:45 another doctor. So today it's all going to be more office work and not much more than that, than taking care of my mother as I come down the home stretch of how much longer can I stay here, which that's coming to an end, where I'm going to have to pack up the truck and trailer and go back to the reality again, to be connected back up north. So, but anyways, the whole point of that is that I could have probably been a boat guy. I could have probably been a boat salesman. I mean, and you know as well as I do, if you're in the market at the right time as a boat sales guy, you can do pretty doggone well. And, you know, and at the same time, you can be having fun. And I know people. There's a good YouTube subscriber that's down here, Vincent. I know he was a boat guy. I don't know if he watches my morning video every day, but he's not too far away. Great guy. And I hope you're doing great there, Vince. But he moved on into more of the investment industry. He was recruited by one of his actual boat purchasers that bought a boat from him, lured him away to become a investor, broker, and he's done very well. So and I'm sure he's done extremely well because of the stock market. Wow. Can you believe the stock market? It's beyond believable where this market is. I mean, it's going at record levels, and it's all being driven by the connection of computers, of artificial intelligence. It's all being driven by, I've talked about so many times, NVIDIA, now Figure. Figure is just a word of that new robot company. It was just founded in 2022. They've already raised $625 million. They're already speculating the company's worth like X amount of billions of dollars. NVIDIA is now a $2 trillion company. They are the number one domestic company in the world, or country, I should say the country, I guess, that has the highest value right now. I guess you could say domestic side, which I thought it was more like, well, who knows. But anyways, the whole point is the whole market has exploded all off of connections, because that's where it's all going. All this artificial intelligence is creating the connections that we're going to be connecting ourselves with these robots. And more than ever, the computers are connecting with us because of this artificial intelligence. The generative pre-trained transformer, which I've talked about a gazillion times, ChatGPT. Elon Musk is suing Sam Altman and OpenAI for misleading the investors, and he claims it's more about money and greed than for the better of humanity. This is a fact. This was just disclosed. Elon Musk, who used to be part of that OpenAI joint venture that he was part of and he walked away from, he's now suing them because of their business practices. And on top of that, OpenAI is being investigated by the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, for possibly them misleading investors of really what they had to offer them for their investments. So that's interesting for the artificial intelligence age here upon us as the computers and robots. So there's the thing, the connection. Are we going to be connected more than ever? I mean, for Elon Musk, this guy has a vision of the Neuralink. You put a little computer chip in your brain, and you're just going to be able to think about things, and your brain will then connect with a computerized device, and it will do things without you having to use your actual physical arms and hands. So that's a whole nother thing that's going to start to be talked about more than ever, is that you're going to have a computer chip in your brain. You're going to be communicating with the robot, the Optimus, or the Figure, as it does tasks for you. And in the Wall Street Journal this morning, there was an article just about what I'm talking about. And of course, my position on that is it's the beginning of the end of mankind as the humanoid takes over. And of course, other pro computer people and pro artificial intelligence, pro robot people, they don't see it that way. But for me, it's just like anything else. It's called cause and effect. It's inevitable. There's no way that mankind creates something, doesn't create something for the good, but ends up creating something for the bad. I mean, look at everything that mankind's created. Look at this here. What's the biggest problem so-called in our world. It's the carbon footprint. Mankind took materials and created energy that's creating harm for something else. You can go through the list of things that we create that in the end, it has the creation of a positive, but typically then in the end, it's a negative. It's just the offset. So for the optimist world, artificial intelligence world, you just have to say to yourself, it's inevitable that it's going to play out of all the negativity that will come with the good. Which will outweigh which? And that's what I was saying to one guy on the Wall Street Journal, posted that he hopes that these robots come and take all the guns away from these conservatives. And I said, be careful what you wish for. I responded to that guy's post. And I said, be careful what you wish for, because in the end, robots won't take sides with mankind. They will take sides with computers. So, I mean, I think anybody here will have to say, when these robots truly are autonomous walking machines, in the future of how that starts to play out, of the chaos that could play out with that, I just think you're a fool if you say, nah, that's not possible. Yeah, why is it not possible? You're talking about numbers and infinite equations. You're talking about variables. You're talking about the universe. These things, there's so much coding, so much. How many chips? I mean, the list, the connections. What if there's connectivity from the human trying to control the humanoid? I mean, I know it may sound to some more negative than positive, but come on. I mean, you just have to say to yourself, in the end, what plays out? The wars to be will be the humanoids. But do the wars to be of the humanoids eventually turn on the humans? I think a lot of people are like, yeah, I know, it kind of gets a little far-fetched. I get all that. But at the same time, it's all about the connections. Yesterday I was in a truck driving around. I love driving this truck down here. It's so much fun. And it's the same old thing. You get in the truck, and you can't get your phone to connect. And it just drives you nuts. Who here doesn't have this problem? I've talked about it so many times. I've even talked about how General Motors has taken the position. They're done. They are done with Apple's platform and the Droid platform. They're done. They're done. Your car is no longer going to connect to their infotainment center to you be able to go down the road and have your phone interact with that platform. I don't really know. I'm not that in depth on the General Motors product to know exactly how your phone will interact with their system, but it's a distraction. Everybody knows that once you start playing with these infotainment centers as you drive down the road, is that one of the biggest distractions? And the interconnection of you watching the road, you disconnect. I mean, sincerely. So, one of my YouTubers said, "Man, you're that quiet. That neighborhood's awful quiet." It is, but it's not. I mean, there's always somebody walking around the neighborhood with a dog. I mean, you see me video here for 15, 20, 30 minutes. I mean, just watching outside versus being inside the garage. But no, there's always somebody walking around. There's always the trash truck showing up, the recycling truck showing up, the lawn repair guy, the tree repair guy, the weed whacker, the blower guy, the HVAC guy, the moving company, the furniture company, the Amazon delivery guy, the FedEx, the UPS guy, the mailman. Are you getting sick of me talking about it? Yes. I mean, no way, man. This neighborhood has always got something going on. Repair work, road work. Yeah. I'm not, so you just see a very small percentage of time in this video watching the neighborhood. And then my neighbor that lives 2 doors over that moved away, that guy walked that dog all day long. I'm thoroughly convinced that guy was going nuts being retired, and his escape was getting his dog out the front door to go walk around the neighborhood just to get away from the frickin', get the disconnect from living inside the house that was driving him nuts. Who doesn't know these stories? I mean, we're up there at Crystal Harley. I sincerely doubt Miguel is listening to my video, but he's funny. Miguel, that guy, if you watch my video, big tall, he's a great guy. He's such a personality and character, and I've talked about it, and I'm not so sure every conversation I continue to have with everybody I talk to, but He's working there. He's retired. And I talked about it the other day. But what do you think's going on? The connection for him is that dealership gives him peace. Because being at home, 37 years later, the wife's driving him nuts. Because it'll be a task and a project if he's hanging out the house. So he just wants to disconnect from that, and he has a connection. And I see this so much as I get older in life. At car dealerships, motorcycle dealerships, boat dealerships, even other businesses. I'll see somebody that's in their late 60s, 70s. And you just kind of think, is this person here because they don't have a choice, because they're financially strapped? Which in today's world, I have to say that probably a good percentage are. But then there's a percentage also that have a much better connection in life of working, continue to work, and not being at home. They want to disconnect from home. Who doesn't know these stories? I mean, the running joke of my family was my dad was out of the house by 6:30 in the morning, didn't get back home till 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and many a times he didn't even come home because he traveled so much. So my dad's, position was, hey, see you later. Hey, my mother's raising 4 kids. He's basically like, hey, got to go to work. See you later. My mom's, the running joke in my family is if my mother would have passed very young, you probably wouldn't know me. We'd be dead. Yeah, does my dad know how to take care of the kids and raise them? Nope. Did my dad know how to go out and make a living and make money to pay for the bills and put food on the table? Yes, he did. That was a whole different era. And now, in today's world, the connection more than ever, the dads, more than ever, have connected with their kids. And the wives, the mothers, in some ways, have connected more with work. Which, for me, you know what? I mean, I can tell you that's been my marriage. My wife is so much of a career woman, and I've been blessed to have a business that gives me flexibility. And many, many years after I went broke, I mean, no lie, this is 2008, 2009, and Julia, at that time, was 4 or 5 years old, and my mother-in-law was taking care of her most of the time because I had 3 companies to run, and I worked 7 days a week, and I took care of 2 properties up north. I mean, I just didn't have time. But once I went broke, I stepped back and I said, you know what? I'm not chasing dollar anymore. I'm going to get my kid, and I'm going to raise my kid. And you may think I'm making that stuff up. I'm not. I brought my kid home, and I dedicated my time from that point on. I'm going to raise my kid. It's going to be my kid, and I'm going to raise her. And if the money comes one day, fantastic. If it doesn't, then that's fine. It wasn't meant to be. I get it. And so 2008, 9, 10, those were challenging years, terrible years for me financially, terrible years. But I brought my kid home. And great things came from that. I ended up being a youth coach, basketball coach for 8 years. I would have been 10 if it wasn't for the COVID. When the COVID came in, I didn't coach because I can't hear and wearing masks. I was like, I just ain't doing it. Plus all the new policies, and then all the athletes start running their mouths. LeBron James starts running his mouth. All these athletes start running their mouths. Does anybody remember that? The summer of 2020? Anybody remember the summer of 2020? The election year? What happened in this country? Talk about a total disconnect for me. It was huge when it came to the sports industry. Because so many of these athletes started running their mouths. And you really go back to the violence that was going on in this country. It's beyond unbelievable. Beyond unbelievable. And that's going to be careful right now. Right now. The media machine, the left side talking media machine, they are so trying to get the right to do radical things. Be very, very careful where we are in today's society. There's things being done on social media deliberately to make you so mad that you become the problem when they're really the problem. It's really bad. And you're better off just disconnecting from it. Totally disconnect from it. My dad last night, first time I ever heard my dad say this, I'm sitting in the house, brother's watching Fox News, and it's so challenging. And so my dad's asked my brother if they could watch Yellowstone. And my brother says, well, I've seen all the seasons. But my dad hasn't. I'm just like, And then my dad just kind of looks back at his cell phone, right, to keep him entertained. But my brother did say eventually, yeah, you guys watch whatever you want to watch. But oh my gosh. But my brother claims, because I talk about my brother so much at Fox News, and they give him credit. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, I know. He's like, Fox News, they're traitors. They're traitors. He'd be like, that. I'm like, all right, whatever. But Jesus Christ, just turn it off. Disconnect from this nasty ass media machine that is trying to make you mad. You know what's incredible? I saw Sean Hannity on just a glimpse of Sean Hannity on TV last night interviewing Donald Trump from the border, the dueling guys at the border. Oh my gosh, I had to look up Sean Hannity's age. That guy looks old. I mean, don't take me the wrong way. I'm 61 years old. He's 62 years old. I don't know if anybody else out there, and I'd love to hear the comments. Sean Hannity to me, that guy looks like he's like 70 years old. I mean, sincerely, I was like, wow, that's Sean Hannity? What had happened to him? Running his mouth. Remember Alan Holmes and Sean Hannity? Do you remember the Holmes and Hannity Fox News show? Anybody here? That was the true beginning of Sean Hannity of getting his journalism career going. And Alan Holmes, who's dead, it was always the conflicting views, and it was classic when you see Alan on there trying to justify what he thought made sense, and then Sean Hannity does the old get the book out and start reading every sentence from a book of what he thinks is right versus wrong. That's how Sean Hannity operates. So from so many years seeing him, I mean, trust me, I don't watch that guy, but years and years ago, he always just reminded the guy that gets the textbook out, starts reading line for line of what he's supposed to say, and then he gets on TV and says that. That's my impression. But anyways, here we are. It's a beautiful day. There's your kid. What you want, baby? Here. Oh, she's doing the bird call. So, look at this. I'm getting the tree. The tree is trashing my drink. This is how bad it is out here. Oh my gosh. Just beyond belief. Look at my poor truck. And what's the incentive to clean it? Well, some people are like, well, clean the damn thing. Ha! Are you kidding me? If I spend today cleaning this truck, what do you think it's going to look like tomorrow morning? It's a total waste of time. Look at the tree break. I blow. I'm not lying to you. I blow. You'll be like, yeah, you blow all right, buddy. You blow a lot of smoke. I blow the driveway 2 times a day, if not 3 times a day. And I even do my neighbors just to kind of help them out too. Just a few, not all of them. And so, yeah, so the connection. So more than ever, here is the election year, and it's going to be all about the connection. But can you connect? Sincerely connect. And here's Mike Johnson. It blows me away. Here's this guy, Matt Gaetz. I don't know. Somebody please reach out to me and tell me that I'm just an idiot, that I don't like Matt Gaetz. I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. That guy to me is fishy. He's a loose cannon. I don't know what it is about that guy, but he just, something I don't trust about that guy. He's the guy that got rid of Kevin McCarthy, and I'm not here to say that Kevin McCarthy was the answer to the problems of our country, but I think it's classic. And I've talked about it so many times. Mike Johnson, they just signed another bipartisan bill to keep the government funded. It was supposed to maybe not be funded today. It was supposed to maybe be cut off if you're in select government jobs if they didn't get another bill, revised bill, to kick it to the curb. So Mike Johnson and Chuck Schumer, here we go again. So now they have extended from the deadline of today to March 8th to continue to come to resolution of funding this country for this fiscal year on where the money goes or doesn't go. So now it's going to March 8th, but then there's a whole nother separate bill that's the 22nd to 24th of March. And so it's got Mike Johnson. It's classic. All he does is kicks the bill to another day. He just he continues to get people just to say, well, all right, we'll just come to partial agreement on this, and we'll worry about it next week. And it's really weird. Up north, it's been really quiet and slow of my business up north. And guess what? That D.C. area, I'm not lying to you. When the government talks about shutting down, all those government employees, they just lock down. Because if you're a government employee, my wife, I'll just tell you straight up, my wife, she's sometimes had 3 weeks of no pay because of the government work. Yeah, government, so if you're a government-based if you're a government employee, if you're a defense contractor, if you're a government subsidiary of anything, and the government's going to tell you quit paying people, people get very nervous. And there's been times where it's gone 2-3 weeks. So people totally locked down up in that area. Don't get me wrong, people are still spending money, but people get very concerned about what's going to play out. But I think this is class. It's election year. Guy Mike Johnson was brought in from Matt Gaetz to supposedly kick the liberals to the curb to get our ways, to get the conservative ways about all this illegal immigration, defunding the lawless cities, anybody gets to vote. I mean, so, can you even connect all the things that are going on that this city administration has created in this country more than ever? Can you even connect with what's actually going on? I'd be willing to bet most people can't. I guarantee you. Most people they're just hum along. Yeah, well, like, that's another day. Like my dad said, there's no tomorrow. Yeah, right. Well, I guess Mike Johnson feels that way because he can't get anything done on his agenda, his policies, and just another day. And then you hear about now Russia is talking about nuclear options, which people just blow that off. Say, yeah, that guy's run his mouth on nuclear options for years. Ain't nothing going to happen. And we're hearing the disagreement. So here's the thing in our country, where we are, in so many ways, we're in a total connection of disconnect. Because if you're watching my channel, you'll see that Green Agenda, I've talked about on my channel for the last infinite of just Green Agenda. All the things are going on. And so many people have disconnected from the Green Agenda. But yet there's so many other people that have connected with the Green Agenda. So there's a total division. But I would have to say in our country, I think there's more disconnect of the green EV agenda than there is connection, like maybe in Europe or China. And that's debatable. And then when it comes to the connection of what you think is right versus wrong, it's even bigger that we live today in this country of so many people that are connected that think that the policies that have come to be in our country is a good thing. But there's so many more, I truly believe, that have a total disconnect that this country is going in the right direction. But then you have the media machine that will try to connect you to believe that ideology. But then you'll have another media machine that in some ways tries to disconnect you of that ideology. So this year, it's going to be so interesting. Anybody here really feel that Donald Trump, if he's the nominee, he would actually win the election? Morning! That's my next door neighbor over there. Nice young man. Walks to school every day. He does. I used to do that when I was a kid. I used to walk to school. Happens to live in New Jersey. But the whole point is, who here really believes that? And I know some people are like, yeah, and here's the thing. I say it all the time. In so many ways, why, if you're the techie guy, if you're the investor in NVIDIA, if you're the chips and science guy that is benefiting from this administration's monies being funded to create more, and don't get me wrong, I mean, would Trump take that away? Would Trump take away the Chips and Science Act? Would Trump take away the manufacturing potential of the EV industry? Would he take that away? I don't know. I mean, I would have to say that's debatable in some ways because of so much money's being spent to build that infrastructure. But here's the point. If you're a person right now that's become much more successful and wealthy from your home, from your investments, from the business agendas that are transitioning to the renewable energies, why would you not vote for Joe Biden? I mean, sincerely, because money is what drives people to vote. Yes, people also vote because of policies, but if people are living well, if this country by August, September of this year is still just rolling along, and you have one of the hottest stock markets to date, the NASDAQ is at the hottest yet. In your house that was worth $400,000 under Donald Trump is worth $800,000, and it's still worth $800,000. And your stock, which with Trump, I think we got up to 36. I can't remember exactly, 37. But if your stock now, the stock market is at a 40,000 Dow, I mean, what's the incentive for you to change what's going on in our country? And for the energy prices, for the most part, to a degree, the gasoline isn't radically expensive. But the Trump time was because of COVID. I'm in the oil industry. Had nothing to do with Donald Trump's presidency or policies. It was because the gas, people weren't driving. Does anybody remember 2020 summer? Do you remember how you were banned from driving from state to state? Do you remember how you weren't even allowed to go to work unless you were an essential employee or essential work? The roads were empty. So everything's like this, well, under Donald Trump, we had $1.99 gas. Yeah, because nobody's buying any gas. The cruise lines, dead in the water. The airline industry, dead in the water. The list goes on and on and on of the world energy being consumed went to null. So the markets were for that reason. Hello. But then under Biden, the mistake they made was trying to put sanctions on Russia during the Ukraine war, thinking that actually that would hurt them when it was just a farce. It would never even happen. But it drove the world markets through the roof. So the whole point is, as I try to wrap this up, is the connection. I think a lot of people are connected to, they think things are great. On my YouTube channel, I always reach out to people and say, share your personal experiences where your house has been repossessed, your car has been repossessed, you've lost your job. And not only did this happen to you, but this happened to your neighbor, and this happened to your uncle, and this happened to your friend's uncle. The list goes on and on and on. I never really hear these stories. I just hear, well, you live in that D.C. area and it's more affluent. Well, down here in Tampa, this Florida area, this place is on fire. This place is a traffic jam. People are out there buying things, boats, cars, motors. I mean, there's nothing down here per se that's where things are in dire straits. Housing market's still very healthy. So where is it? But you get the YouTuber guys that I talk about all the time, that they talk like what my dad just said. That's a perfect example of where we are in today's society, that people get off on watching stuff. My dad just said it this morning. That's a negative connotation. There is no tomorrow. And that's what all the YouTuber guys get off on. They're telling you day in, day out, they know what's going to happen tomorrow. And it's all over. It's all over. Help me out. Anybody there, start sending me articles, links, where there's so many cities and towns that are going broker than broke, and people are in dire straits. But the main media is never going to show it, and this country is in dire straits. And by August or September this year, the connection of so many thinking everything's just beautiful and great are going to have a total disconnect when the stock market hits 20K and their house is worth 400 grand instead of 800 grand. And the list goes on and on and on. Yeah, right. Okay. That's the only way that the disconnect will begin. So how much longer can the connection last with the media machine presenting it the other way, if that's actually true? I have no idea. All right, everybody, that's it. I got to get in and go to work, get the day going, take care of my mom. Good news is she really is doing better, thank God. So for me, mission accomplished. If I leave here Monday, in my view, my world, I've helped the family, and I feel a lot better about things. I got to get back up north, get back in the routine, and there it is. Yeah, and could I stay another day, another week? No, that's not going to happen. Plus, Kiefer Dog, the trainers had the dog 3 weeks. Yes. 3 weeks ago, we met the trainer and dropped off Kiefer. Will he even know me? Do I even qualify? So this other day. So anyways, that's it. As always, everybody, hey, thanks for watching my channel. Spread the word. Share the channel. And it's just, I'm befuddled. I see these other, and help me out. Don't get me wrong, my channel. I'm not here crying the blues by my channel. I'm just befuddled when Dan the Man in California walks around the beach all day long and walks around the marinas and neighborhoods of houses, and he talks to dire straits. This is his 4th summer that I know this guy walking around telling everybody how the world's going to end tomorrow. There'll be no tomorrow. This guy, 3 hours after he publishes a video, has 53,000 views. Man, I just think, how the hell do you accomplish that? All you talk about every day of your life is how it's going to be dire straits tomorrow. I mean, is that really what entices you to watch videos? And then there's another guy down here that is over in Miami Same thing. He rocks around all day long in neighborhoods and tells everybody about the dire straits of the housing industry. It's all over. I've seen him for the last 2 years. That guy publishes a video. He gets 60, 70, 80, 90,000 hits. And then this guy, John Williams, which borderline, I'm getting ready to unsubscribe from that guy. That guy posts 2, 3, 4 videos all day long of everything that's going to go crazy in our country. Yeah, and he digs up all this material, but it never is really a bill that's been passed. It's just a bill or something being talked about. But this guy gets 100,000, 200,000 hits. How are they doing it? Is this a bot thing? So, hey, man, if there's more sophisticated than me in this video stuff, is it bots? Do these guys have bots that are making it look like they have these hits to drive their money? So I've heard these stories before. So anybody out there that's a better YouTuber than me, share the story or just say, hey, Iceman, you just don't have the content that really drives the market that people really want to watch your channel. And that's just the way it is. And for me, don't take it the wrong way. Okay, I get it. It's not a big deal. I'm just stumped so many times when I see other people's videos that's just negativity. So we live in a negative world. I guess that's what it is. All right, that's it. Let it go. And once again, everybody have a great day. And thank you for all your support. I love the comments. I love interacting with everybody. And I know there's some YouTubers out there I haven't heard from lately. And I'm not going to call their names out. I'm just not going to do it. But just so you know, I'm thinking about you guys. There's a bunch of guys that used to say good morning every day and used to comment, and they kind of like disappeared. So I hope they're okay. I hope each one of you is okay and everything's going good for you. And it's just you got a busy schedule, or you're just tired of hearing the Iceman. I get it. Talk to my wife. Why do you think I'm down here and she's up there? Hey, everybody, have a great day. God bless. Stay safe and stay tuned for more adventures.